Before we start the review, these are just some pictures from all the Awdry Extravaganzas that I've been to and the Railway Series weekends. What's your favourite memory from the Awdry Extravaganza? Let the review begin. Hi everyone and welcome to ThomasFan UK. So today we are going to be reviewing something slightly different, which is the Awdry Extravaganza 5 weekend. Now, just before we start, I've been to all 5 and the Railway Series weekend, and I'm going to tell you how I feel, how it's made me feel, and the whole experience in itself. So just before I start, please remember to like, subscribe and comment to ThomasFan UK. This weekend I will be at the Greatest Gathering in Derby, and I'll also be watching the Unlikely Fandom premiere in Derby also. So I will hopefully get a little bit of footage of the Q&A, and I might do a review of the actual film, but without spoiling it for everyone. So we'll see how that works out anyway. So here we go then. So the Awdry Extravaganza 5 weekend was a couple of weekends ago in July, and it was basically the Glastonbury for Thomas fans. So when all the special events went on sale, it crashed the site basically, and you know, I think they could have sold them events out 10-20 times over. That's how popular this event has come. So the first event of Awdry Extravaganza was in 2021. Very, very different circumstances. We've just got over COVID. Carriages were, I think it was 1-2 families with these screens down. You still had the exhibition, but very few people in it. And year on year on year, it has grown. You know, the second year we got the Peter Sam face. The third year, Duncan had his new face. The fourth year, it was Sir Handel. And the Railway Series weekend, we saw Ivy Hugh get his face. And then this week, we also saw number 1 and number 2, Talaklim and Renius, get their new faces as well, which were amazing. Also, not forgetting Rusty, he got his face, I think it was the same year as Sir Handel got his. So, yeah. So, I just want to personally thank Luke and Daniel for, they put on the event with the help of lots of volunteers. I've always found them to be really great people, and what they have created is something of a masterpiece weekend. 5 years ago, me being a Thomas fan, I was very closeted because it wasn't really, you know, the sort of thing you would say. You know, I'm still a fan of Thomas, I still collect the trains, because people would take the mickey. But since the Awdry Extravaganzas, I've kind of come out my shell and embraced it, shall we say. And now I tell people, yes, I collect Thomas, I love Thomas, you know, and it's been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. I mean, I'm 30 6:37 next month, or rather the September, and I've always had Thomas, Ringo Starr's always been my favourite narrator. Series 2's always been my favourite series, but it's always been there. So going back to Awdry Extravaganza 5, right, you had a photo charter on each day, which was, I did the Friday one, very, very well organised by Nathan, I think his name is. And yeah, we went along with Sir Handel, did various photographs at the bridge, at the viaduct, all the way along there. Great photographs I've got. And then on the Sunday, it was like a double header, so the photo charter and the exhibition train split up. I think they got Sir Handel, and we got Jerry. I think it's Jerry, number 2. Yeah, I think it is Jerry. And we got a stop at the water feature on Dolglock, and I managed to recreate the gallant old engine scene there, which I'm really, really proud of the pictures that's come out of that. So that's another great thing that's happened. I went to the exhibition at Abergynollen, and that was great. We seen the Farquhar layout. We got to see screen used Scarloey and a body of Renes. That was really good. I always say, always look around, because last year, don't ask me how, I did the exhibition in Abergynollen and I completely missed Harold the helicopter. So yeah, I mean, for the exhibition in Towyn, I basically booked one each day, and each day I managed to find something new that I hadn't seen on the previous visit. So it's always worth, booking another one if you like that kind of thing. I didn't do the evening events this time because I was doing the when I say evening events at the Magic Lantern Theatre, I did the photo charters and that, and I needed a night off on Saturday because I was knackered from all of it. So I did the picnic on the Friday. That was really good as always. You get a packed lunch at Abergynollen, which was, you got a sausage roll, sandwich, a drink, a packet of crisps, some biscuits, which, it was nice. I enjoyed it. The whole atmosphere of the Awdry Extravaganza was electric. I've read somewhere this week that someone said that the fandom is dead. Well, if you'd have gone to Awdry Extravaganza 5, you would not have that opinion. So, yeah. So the next one is a talking train that I did. Now that was comedic, funny, nostalgic. I went on the Saturday when they did the car versus train, or train versus car, and that was nice little addition. We had Tim Dunn, who's famous for Secrets of the London Underground, doing the commentary, and then we heard from the great man Wilbur Awdry himself, narrating some stories for that journey. So that was quite nice to see and hear. I did record all of it because sometimes I like to just listen to them back and I think, I miss that, or I miss this. I had a lot of people, or a lot more people, come up to me this time saying, "Oh, you're ThomasFan UK. I've recognised you. I watch your channel. Thank you for the coverage of the prop store auction, the one from a few months ago. and some people were genuinely, knew my name, and I was like, did they just say my name, George? And you sort of forget that, when I put videos out, people are watching the videos now. So yeah. So my rating for Awdry Extravaganza 5 is, if we do it out of 5, it's a clear 5. 5, 5, 5 on everything. To say year on year on year they have bettered it is, my personal favourite years was until Awdry Extravaganza 5, number 3, which had the main focus of Douglas, or Duncan, number 6, if you want to be a bit more correct. But this one, the atmosphere was great. There were several Thomas cast members there, or people associated with Thomas. The lovely Veronica Chambers, always there. Richard Awdry, lovely guy. Ian McHugh, got to meet him, that was fantastic. And to end my weekend, I'm meeting the illustrator of the Christopher Awdry books, Clive Sponge. That was the icing on the cake for me. And I am going to be lost next year because, every year me and my dad has always gone to the Awdry Extravaganza. It's always been our thing. We have 2-3 days away in Wales. I go and do the event. We eat in the restaurant or the cafe at Towing. And next year we're going to probably have to have a look at somewhere else where we can go, or do the Festiniog, because that's on my list, which I haven't done yet. The finale, that was something else. I was actually getting emotional because you had all these people. I've never seen that many people as an Awdry Extravaganza for the finale. Usually it's probably about 50, 100 people just waiting to get the photograph. But this time it was packed, absolutely packed to the rafters. And then you had all the engines joining on the chants and whistles. We also had Duke, who came from the Festiniog. We had Mike, who was from the Ravenglass and Eskdale Railway, and George, Teddy Boston's steamroller. It just made it the perfect finale. And what a way to go out. What a way to go out. I hope, when they do number 6, whether that be in 2 years' time, 5 years' time, they stick to what they're doing great. Luke Ryan has perfected that show. He's made it, the one show if you're a Thomas fan, Railway Series fan, that is a show to go to. It shows that, people come from Australia, a lot were from America this time, Europe, Denmark, someone came from Ireland. It just goes to show how far people are coming just to attend the Awdry Extravaganza. And that's the impact it is having on the unlikely fandom, shall we say. But I am forever grateful to the people who have made Awdry Extravaganza what it is, because I've met so many nice people there. I've met a lot of the Thomas people that years ago you'd have think would never happen. Clive Sponge, Veronica Chambers would have been almost impossible to meet, but they've made, this what it is. Ian McHugh, what a lovely guy he was. I spoke to him for about 5 minutes before he got ambushed by all the fans on Friday. But yeah, Tom Dennon, who did the 80th anniversary podcast, he was a lovely guy as well. But overall, the Awdry Extravaganza, I'm waffling on now, was a fantastic weekend. I liked the little, the exclusives they did. They did one on Friday, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. You got Fred, Sir Handel and Rusty. Yeah, nice little things like that. It changed it up. You got a booklet that you could buy in the gift shop. I mean, that was another nice thing to see. But before we go, let's just remember the Awdry Extravaganza is celebrating the life and work of the Reverend Wilbert Awdry, who, if we're honest with each other, without him and without Britt Allcroft, let's be honest, because, you know, she made the television show, but certainly without the Reverend W. Awdry, there would be no Thomas the Tank Engine. And what he has left on this earth will, in my opinion, live on for generations to come. Timeless stories about the island of Sodor and all its engines that have come together. It is magical. Now, I just forgot, just before I finish, that the exhibition at Towyn had Thomas, Henry, Gordon, Edward and Billy. That was also a great exhibition. I can't believe I forgot to say that. Nice to see the engines again. Oh, Duck was there as well. First time I'd ever seen Duck. I think I'd seen the other engines before, but not Duck, so that was nice. And Sam Wilkinson let me drive Thomas, which you'll see on the video, so that was also very nice. So finally, I just want to say thank you to Luke, Daniel and everybody else who does the Awdry Extravaganza. We're going to miss you. I hope you have a good break, and we'll see you next time when the Awdry Extravaganza comes alive again. So thank you to the Talyllyn Railway, to Mattel, to Thomas and to the Reverend W. Awdry for giving us a fantastic weekend and a whole lot of history. I'm ThomasFan UK, and we'll see you again soon.
Of our water and wastewater system. Well, fugitive. Listen,